Good evening, everybody. Want to thank everybody for being here who has showed up early with bells on. Appreciate everybody that's here tonight. Tonight is going to be a quick live stream for me, which means it'll probably be average. uh, I'm tired. I've been up since 3 this morning. I've driven nearly 8 hours today and got back here and made some projects, and my tail is dragging. But I've got some stuff to share with you. Several folks have asked me about the Autosave feature and how it works. And so I said, you know what? I'll show that. Lightburn does save your work for you, even if you don't. Even if you don't set up a file to begin with, they'll save the work as it goes. There are some settings that you can help modify that, and I'll give you what my recommendations on how to do this are. And where are my notes? I'm going to talk about the autosave. Oh, and I've put a suggested feature up for the next version or two of Lightburn, and I'll discuss that and share the link with you on if you think it's a good idea. And yeah, you would like to see it in Lightburn, you need to go over to the Lightburn suggested features and vote this suggestion up. And the more people that show interest in it, it might be something they develop or figure out a way to put something together for. And then I've been telling you, I've got this antique writing table, and I believe it's a child's writing table because it's really small, but it's got what I believe is a solid oak top and one single drawer in the front, and then it's got a sliding, like a desk, an additional desk piece that slides out from with underneath the desktop. And I've been just trying to figure out what kind of inlay to put in there. And I've been working on kind of a compass rose, and I've got a layout kind of sort of finished up. But I'm planning on putting around the compass, instead of north, south, east, and west, I was going to put the words "Find your true north" around the compass rose. And I'm unsure about which one of two layouts to do it in. I think I have a personal favorite, but I was going to ask you guys your input as well. So in that little bit of an introduction, we've had another 20 some odd people chime in. So thank you all for showing up. Thank you for being here. Oh my goodness. What a day. What a day. I was awoken. I was woke up this morning at 3 o'clock in the morning by the South Carolina Highway Patrol. And anytime you're woken up from a dead sleep, and mind you, I didn't go to bed until about 1:30, so I've been asleep maybe an hour and a half. Hello, yeah, this is Trooper such and such, South Carolina Highway Patrol. And I said, whoa, wait a minute. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm not expecting, I don't have anybody in South Carolina. I'm not expecting anybody needing me to, how do I know you're a trooper? Well, I'm a trooper. Okay. And a family member got down there, and they're having some dementia issues, and they got turned around, and they ended up 3.5 hours away from home. And they said, well, your family member's here, we can let you talk to them. I said, yeah, let me talk to them. And sure enough, it's all legit. But they're 3.5 hours away. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. And I told her, so I'll be there as fast as I can. And that trooper was nice enough. I asked her, I said, what are you going to do for 3.5 hours? I said, I can't ask you to sit there and watch him. She did. She sat there for the whole time. Didn't call EMT, didn't need EMT, but they didn't take him in, didn't take him. He wasn't hurt, just confused. And they sit there for 3.5 hours and waited for me to get there. I got down there, picked him up, turned around, and got him back. And that's the 7 and 8 hours of driving I did. But I got back and immediately got back and started working on an appreciation gift for there actually was 2 troopers involved, and I'm making 2 of them. Let me show you this and ask your opinion on this too. Let's see, switch. So this is a plaque that I'm working on. It's multi-layer. Every color is a different layer. And I seen somebody ask about a patriotic project. We're coming up on the 4th. And this is something that could be twisted and made into something patriotic. Remove the trooper badge and, put, hey, you're a real firework, whatever, and make a little plaque out of it. But it's 1, 2, 3, 4 layers. And I'm going to do the blue and green are going to be cherry. I'm still unsure about the trail of the stars. The stars and the badge are either going to be maple or ash with the engraving. But then I'm going to make it just a flat wall hanger. I'm not going to put it on a stand or anything like that. Just curious, what do you guys think about that? I thought that was pretty cool for the troopers just to sit there for 3.5 hours and wait for me to get there. Let's see here. That's that one. And now let's go ahead and save that. New, let's open the Compass Rose, recent desktop inlay. All right, so the whole gray area is the oak top. So everything that's gray would be oak. And then I'm thinking definitely 3 or 4 different woods with a black walnut for the dark main part of the Compass Rose. And then either some ash or maple to give it the contrast on the rose. And then I'm thinking about using my Paduke or Babinga to do the other part of the compass, all the triangles and stuff. But the part that I'm trying to figure out is on the words, find your true north. Do it like that so that when you're sitting at the desk, you just read that, from right to left. Or do it like that, where it goes around the compass. Find your true north. Curious, what you guys think about that. And to make it simple, I'd like you to vote on that and either do, and will, so that everybody calls it by the same thing. If you like this version up top here, this is right to left, or circular. So I would love your feedback and your opinion. If you were going to do this, make an inlay, would you do right to left or circular? So if you put your input in on this, I'd really appreciate it a lot on your feedback. I'm not going to voice my opinion about which one I like better. I'm just curious what you guys think. So let's see here. Of course, we got all the regulars. We got Bob showing up, 2 hours early? No, wait. You was here at 6. He was here 3 hours early. Yeah, you was a little bit early there, Bob. But I appreciate you. And Mr. Coleman, redneck from Dallas, North Carolina. That's just up the street from me, another redneck. And Mr. Coleman, if you're not aware, I refer to all of our Gastonia natives, or Gaston County natives, as rednecks, lovingly, because we're just rednecks. Even our white-collar doctors, they're rednecks. All over the place. New Zealand, Wahoo. What did I see? Where did I see? Oregon. Yeah, and I swear, Valerie, yeah, it's 100. And I was planning today, even though I went to bed at 1:30, I was planning today to get up at 7 this morning and cut my grass before the sun hit, because with the humidity, it was going to be 103 to 104. It's hot. It's hot. Lots and lots of regulars. I appreciate everybody. Jeff Hay there from Hot and Muggy, South Mississippi. Yeah, I traveled down through that Louisiana, Mississippi, and y'all can keep all that. Even South Florida. No, thank you. Just looking to see who all's here and looking if there's any questions or comments right out of the gate before I start talking about the auto save. Because that's the first thing we're going to talk about. And it's really cool the way it sets up. There's another redneck. Hello, Jack. Yeah. Quick equals 3 hours for Hobo. Not tonight. I'm going to shoot for 90 minutes, if not less, because it's not going to be a lot to go over. There's the badge. I did a test on the cherry, and I don't like the badge on cherry. I think I'm going to do it on oak or ash. Don't know yet. Maybe even maple, but a whitewood. I'm looking for a lot less grain. Let's see here. Yeah, Stacy, I was bumfuzzled that these troopers, I mean, now I'm not talking about highway patrol or city cops. These were state troopers that sit there. There's two of them that sit there 3.5 hours, just making sure everything was okay, and no tickets, no nothing, just took care of business. And that was, yeah. That's I agree 100%, sir. Yes, sir. The cops get a bad rap right now, but when you need them. All right, so now we're starting to get down. Neepa says she likes them both. Our smart Alec, right to left, Bob right to left, Brandon right to left, 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 right to left. Well, and we got to have one oddball. I think that was the first circle I seen. Right to left, right to left. Oh, there's another one. There's Ashra. My favorite Caribbean viewer. She's going circular. Circular, but I like them both. Right to left, right to left, right to left, right to left, right to left. Bunch of right to lefts. There's a few of you oddballs in there. So you're not all out there. You're not by yourself, but it does look like, well, I don't know. It looks like now circular is starting to pick back up or pick up. There's a lot. It's almost split. I got to figure out a way to do, I know how to do the giveaways. I don't know if StreamYard has a way to do a poll, but I'm actually going to go back and I'll look at this in the replay and count and see. But it looks pretty darn split from what I'm seeing right now. Stacy says, I like circular. Have you tried doing them in a told you I'm going on an hour's sleep. And I've also told y'all before, I don't know my right from my left. Yes, Midnight Sun, you are absolutely right. That is left to right. But everybody's voted right to left because that's what I called it. Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. I told you I wasn't fooling when I said I don't know my right from my left. If I ever give you instructions, you better have you a GPS, or not instructions, but directions. You better have a GPS you can rely on, because if I tell you go somewhere, make two rights and a left, ain't no telling where you was actually supposed to go, because you probably won't end up where you wanted to be. Whoo! That's pitiful. That is sad and funny. Okay. There it is. What about doing them in a circular format? Isn't that what that is? I curved them. You can't really tell it much because of they're only 4 or 5 letters. but they're curved and wrapped. Wrapped, the text is text to path and wrapped it around the circle. So they're actually supposed to be in both of them, both versions. They are bent ever so slightly. You can see there it's twisted. In fact, if there you can see there's a circular path there and there, but because there are only 4 letters, you can't really see it that well. I think that's what you're referring to, Miss Stacy. And I hope everybody got your gifts and your prizes from the giveaway. I know a lot of you have emailed me and said you've received them. Thank everybody for your participation in last week's. And Don did get his confirmation on his shipping of his Rolly and all of the Lightburn subscriptions. Everything went out. Everything was done on Monday, and I appreciate everybody's support. YouTube has polls. Okay. I know Facebook does. I may do a couple of different. Yeah, Tim, they're everywhere, brother. They're everywhere. And no, Valerie, it's not even dyslexia. I'm not dyslexic. I can read fine and I don't interpret stuff backward. I just don't know my right from my left. I mean, I do. And I've told this before, but my nephew, he's in his mid-20s now, but when he was 10 years old, we were sitting at a diner somewhere and he said, "Hey, where's the bathroom?" I said, "Down there on the left." And he come back to the table and he was mad at me. He said, "Uncle Steve, men's room's on the right." And I said, "What'd I say?" He said, "You told me on the left." And he said, "Don't you know you left and right?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Do like this." He said, "The one that makes an L, that's your left." And that was 30 some odd or 20 some odd years ago, or yeah. And I still think about that. But when I don't think about it, I do what I just did. I say right to left, right to left. No, it's left to right. No, I mean putting them vertical then circular, like it's running around the circle. I think like the ticks on a clock. Is that what you're talking about? If that's what you're referring, that should actually about the same. Again, an hour and a half sleep. My brain's not fully engaging. You know what? I don't know which one he's getting because he had the option. I think. I know I got shipping confirmations and they have shipped, but I'm not sure. And Don, if you're in the stream tonight, the folks are wondering which Rolly did you end up getting? Do you know? Did you get the Rolly or the XW? If you're in the stream, okay. Valerie says, yeah, that's called spatial dyslexia. I have it. I'm like you. I don't know my left from my right without thinking about it. Yeah. Well, there's plenty of space in here to be spatial anything. So, all right, let's talk about the autosave feature in Lightburn. All right, if you start a project in Lightburn, and let's just do this. We're going to, that's already saved, so I don't got to do that. We'll just say new, done, and come back over here. Come back over here, and over here, go here, auto. All right, so I've got this. I've clicked on new, and I've not saved or created a file or anything. And if I just sit over here and I start going to work, I start creating pieces and projects and designs and text, and they're all on different layers and everything's done. And I haven't saved anything. I haven't begun to save anything. If you go up here to your gears and go into file settings, right here in the bottom grouping, the top is your settings for auto save intervals in minutes. And you can have it save, if you put it to 0, it will disable autosave. A value of 0 will disable autosave. And you can put an interval of autosave anywhere from 1, and I thought it was 1 to 5, but it's 1 to 20, 1 to 20 minutes. Personally, with as much work as I have my autosave set at 1 minute, because in 1 minute, I can do a ton of damage to a file. You've always got your undo button to go back and back and back, but where autosave is a lifesaver is if you live in a remote area where you've got power flickering or power's not always that stable and you don't have a battery backup on your computer, then autosave will save that for you every single minute if you want to. But where is it? Where did it go? How do you find it? If you do not name your file, if you've just started creating a file or a design and you're a minute into it, and you've got yours set to a minute interval, Lightburn will save this. But save it as what and save it where? Well, the where, if you go to your File Explorer and go to your Documents, here are all of the auto saves that Lightburn has auto saved for me. And it's saved by a default number, I guess this is, but you'll have a date and timestamp of when that auto save happened. Now, I've got a few auto saves in here that may have been files that I was working on that were just really kind of something temporary and I didn't want to keep. But what I recommend doing is when you're going to start a file, if this is going to be a design that you're working on, like the one I'm working on for the state troopers, before I started creating it, I opened up a new file and said save as, and created my folder and created the file name and the job name and saved it as a blank page. And then as I started working, then that's going to be auto saved in that destination every single minute. So if I go, let me see if I've got one that's I can show you. New, no, file, open, jobs. Let's go to the Highway Patrol and see if it's in there. All right. There's no auto save, but watch this. All right. So right now, here is my destinations folder for and my desktop, Lightburn, my jobs, and then there's the folder for it, and here's the actual file. I'm gonna open that up. So I've got that, and right now you see when I opened it, that's over there. I'm gonna bring this over here and move this around. We're just gonna set that over there. This I'm gonna delete, get rid of that, and we'll bring that down here. And now, if I go back over here to my File Explorer and go to Desktop, Lightburn, Jobs, South Carolina Highway Patrol, look right there. There's a backup. That wasn't there a second ago. The only thing that was there was just the award. When I started making changes to it, it did an auto backup. And it will continue to do an auto backup every minute. So I've got my original file that I started with, and this is the backup. But once I save it, once I'm done with my edits and I say, okay, click save, it'll save it and all those backups go away. So if you set up your Lightburn, set up your auto save, depending on how fast you work and how many changes you're making, and also how much you're willing to sacrifice, because even if it's saved every minute, you've got a potential of losing 60 seconds worth of work if something crashes or happens. And also, how much memory and space do you have? Depending on how much designing you're doing with your files, I strongly recommend an external drive that you're saving all of this stuff onto. Uh, all of my e-commerce files, all of my files that I sell on the website, those go on the external drive. These little one-offs, as I'm developing on working them, they'll go on the hard drive. But once I get them fully developed and they're jam up and ready for mass sale, then they go into the e-commerce folder and into the external drive, and I clean up the drive to keep my computer as clean as possible. Okay, so good. I'm glad to see that I've got a lot of numbers here. Jim, and I missed something. Oh, there it is. Well, bless you, Moses. Thank you. Thank you very much. Moses does wood. Yeah, well, thank you for that. And he says, keep me stuck in my RCs. I've got my RCs, and you know what? Today is a good day to grab Carl's hat. And I really need to talk to the Sundrop Bottling Company about them sponsoring me. But hey, they're selling them for $1.25 a piece for 2 liters at the dollar store. They're $3 a piece at the grocery store. I'm happy to get them at $1. And I got a mosquito. So all this is not me being I hate mosquitoes. All right, so thank you, Moses. And I am tickled to death to see, it's not surprising to see the ones and the ones and the ones. Hey, Craig, you late too? Shame on you. But I love it when I start to see the 2s and then the 3s, more 3s. Somebody posted in the YouTube comments one of the videos, I think it was on this last one with the scan angles and the LPIs. He says, man, I run out of fingers and toes. I don't know where I'm at on my count. All right. Chris says, I believe it stops autosave when you save the file. Yep. Then when you do another edit, it starts the save clock again. Yep. That's what I just showed there. Yep. Question mark. I think you have to check the save job log box next to the minutes for it to be found in the documents folder. I have no backups, and that box was not checked. Let's go back here. This one. No? You said you thought, no, because go back here, switch. If you're talking about that right there, save job log, that's not the same as saving the job. And I do not have my job log turned on. And help me. Help me, Rhonda. Help me, Rhonda. Help me, Rhonda. Help. Where am I looking for? Online documentation. Wrong screen. You need to be over here. Search. Autosave. And that's not going to pull up. Let's try that. There we go. Autosave interval. Autosave launch files and running copy of Lightburn. Autosave selected. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. It's supposed to go right to your documents folder. And I'm surprised that you don't see anything because I do not have anything else turned on. All right. Uh-oh. Wait a minute. Eric, are you another redneck? Because for those that don't know, he's saying if Skeeter came from airline, beware. Airline is a street or a road here in this wonderful city that is used to be the main thoroughfare back in the 60s and the 70s. Now it's where all the less desirables are. You don't want to be there. And if you get bit by a skeeter that's been down there, ain't no telling what you gonna get. All right. Well, looky there. Thank you. Big number 4. Hello, Jerry. Jerry's in the house. Okay. He's in Alexis. I used to be on the High Shoals Volunteer Fire Department, and I used to cover High Shoals and Alexis when I was on the fire department. Yeah. Who I forget who it was just pointed out or was questioning that. As Chris just points out there, the only thing that goes to the documents folder are files that have not already been named. That's why I said what I like to do is I'm starting a project that I know I'm wanting to make sure I don't lose it. I start a new folder, then save that very blank folder with a name or that project with a name. So as I'm developing it, it saves it in that named desired location. If you don't name the file, if you just start from scratch and never save anything, that's when it goes to the documents folder. How am I liking the XW? Well, to be completely honest with you, Bob, I have not had a chance to utilize it for what I want to use it for because of everything that's been going on, getting ready for the 2-year anniversary. And now my focus right now is developing that inlay to do that writing table. And that's going to require I'm probably going to, I started to use the Creality, but I think I don't like, and I love the Creality Falcon 2, the quality of the laser, and it's the power of the laser. It's a 20 or 22 watt. But I don't like the Creality's laser module, the way it's designed. It's perfectly square. It doesn't have a funnel on it like our Rollies do and like a lot of the X tools do. It's perfectly square tube all the way down to the bottom, and you focus to that square, and it's got a small little bitty window right there for you to look through that you're not supposed to look through at the laser. And but because of that, it's you got low clearance, low time, and with everything I want to do with the inlays and with the potential of needing to do the print and cut feature after doing the inlays, I'm probably going to use the Comgo Z1 or it's one of the 10 watts because I can just see better. But once I get this inlay done with that, I've got some really large panels, hardwoods that I want to do on here. But I haven't really got to put this spaces for the extra space. I've been using it, but not using it for anything else I wouldn't normally use the MK2 for. Hey, Dimitri's in the house. Heard there was a live with Hobo with Wood. Hello, Steve and everyone. Hello, Dimitri. Hope you're doing well, sir. Okay. So that was the autosave. Any questions on that? Did I muddy that up too much for anybody? I think between Chris and myself, I think it should be pretty clear. If you don't name a file, if you don't save and name the folder, it's going to go to your documents folder. Based on the intervals that you set up for your autosave. And that, again, for anybody that's just tuned in, it's the gears and go to file settings with the floppy disk. And there's 3 groups, or is it 3? There's 4 groups there, or 4 rows. That bottom grouping of stuff, autosave intervals and how many minutes. And if you do not want it to autosave your work, then you set your interval to 0 and it will not autosave. Then you can set your intervals from anywhere from 1 to 20. And on a file that you have not already saved or named, it will be automatically named and put in your documents folder. It says auto save and then around some kind of crazy number, but you'll be able to identify it by the date and time. But to prevent all of that and any of the confusion, I recommend, especially if you know going into this design that it's something that you want to save and you're going to save it, open that file. You create a new piece of work. And then save wherever you want it to go, on your external drive, in your folders, on your desktop, but save that blank file and then go to work. And as you're going to work, Lightburn's going to be auto saving that to that destination you told it to go to and not to the documents folder. So that's hopefully as clear as anybody could possibly want it. Karen's question is, where are you finding your wood panels to use on the XW? I'm making them. I have told you guys about West Penn hardwoods. Almost lost it, but I found it. West Penn hardwoods, and a few of you have been online and checked them out, and several of you have even called them. But I get a lot of their project packs, and the project packs have a wide selection of wood thicknesses and widths. And I think most of the project packs consist of 10 square feet, linear feet of material. And some of it's 1/8 inch thick, some of it's 1/2 inch thick, or a little less. But it can be anywhere from 4 inches wide up to I think 6 or 8 inches wide, and it completely, totally varies. And let me grab this. Ugh. So these, I showed you these out a few days ago. These are some hard maple, and they got some beautiful grain and patterns to them. And this was, 1/2 inch thick or more. And I took them to a buddy's shop and we processed them. And these are, we cut them up so that I can book match them, so I can do the grains, get there you go, like that, get everything lined up so that the grains are book matched. And then once they're all glued up and clamped up, those are the perfect size to go on my XW. And then with that book matched, and that's almost curly maple, I'm going to do an inlay of walnut on this. And this was a project pack. And if you are of the kind of mind that you can say, all right, give me something and I'll figure out what to make out of it, then the project packs are for you. It's whenever it costs you a whole lot of money, whenever you're like, okay, I've got this idea, I want to build this table, and this table is going to require 12 2x4s, this 2x8s, this, and now you've got a list of exactly what you need, and you've got to go buy that equipment, those supplies. That bill adds up. But when you can go in and say, you know what, you got any scrap pieces laying here or there? Oh, great, give me that, and get that discount, and now you figure out what to make out of them. Well, that's kind of what the project packs are. It's all premium stuff, but you just have to figure out how to use it. But West Penn hardwoods, and their project packs. If you can't find it on their website, in fact, it's funny. I get no commissions from them. I get nothing from them. Just the bragging rights and recognition when I go in there, and them going, "Oh, yep. Oh, we had several calls from you this week," or people have mentioned you when they called this week. West Bend. There it is. There, copy. I'm putting their website in the comments, a link rather, paste. So wphardwoods.com. And let's see here. Thin dimensional. I did not find this the other day because I did not go far enough. And I want to see if I can go far enough this time. Load. There we go. All right. Going to the website. Squirrel. So this is West Penn Hardwoods, and you can, in fact, we'll go to their homepage first. There's, and I made a video kind of sort of like that, but it looked like crap because the Wi-Fi was terrible. This place is humongous, and everything you can get from Rockler or any of those other processors, you know, these guys are pretty much the ones supplying that to those retailers, and you can buy it for wholesale prices. If you go to products and then you go to thin dimensional lumber, products, thin dimensional lumber, then you can actually look for it by different species. And if you want, you want hard maple, there. All right, I want hard maple. Then it's going to pull up all the hard maples that they've got, and here are the dimensions. But that's not how you find the project packs, and they don't have it listed here as project packs. If you go back to products, thin dimensional lumber, and then you just say load more products, and you keep scrolling, load more products, you'll see, if you look here, if there's any, you've got your species and your dimensions. And if there's any notes out here, they're going to be sales and or, come on, more products. Now we're starting to get down in here. Box deals, free shipping. If you do one of those pin blanks and all that kind of stuff, they got, there we go, project pack. Oop, didn't want it. There's a project pack. Paduke. But you just have to keep loading, and you'll find the different project packs. There's Purple Heart project packs. It's 10 square feet with free shipping. If you're local, if you're even semi-local, or if you're going to be vacationing in the area, they're in the Hickory, North Carolina area, and the project packs are a deal. But even more so are their cutoffs, and they will not. I've mentioned this before, but I wasn't aware of this. They won't ship the cutoffs. The cutoffs are there if you're local, and you can go over and just go through and randomly pick out what you want, and you buy them for pennies on the dollar. So if you're local or semi-local or visiting, and you're into woodworking, it is definitely a good trip. It's like a theme park for woodworkers. All right. So that squirrel train went off on a tangent. Where, let's see. We talked about that. The new idea suggestion that I had for Lightburn. Now that I've got the MK2 and now the XW, and I am using them both. Now, before, when I was using primarily one laser, keeping up with my maintenance was really kind of a non-issue. as far as how many hours have I used it and how much, do I need to stop and clean this thing now? But now that I've got these two going and I'm using the one computer to control them both and all, but they're back and forth. I'm like, okay, well, how many hours have I done this? Wait, what? Didn't I just clean that one yesterday? I suggested they come up with a maintenance log that can use the information that Lightburn generates already for the diode lasers. And it's already saving some of the information in a CSV file, but it's not calculating any of it, and it's not useful information as is without you taking that, importing it in, or creating spreadsheets and all that. So my suggestion was, in fact, go here. So I've created this laser use logs and maintenance reminders. The ability to create an hourly log for each laser in your devices. They have the ability already. They already have the ability to perform maintenance. Then have the ability for a reminder to perform maintenance after a set total of hours is achieved. The software already calculates the estimated time for a laser to complete a job. Simply log the actual time to complete the job for that laser used. In a shop with multiple lasers, this would prevent excessive use from happening between cleanings, but even those with a single laser would benefit from this feature. Folks don't realize how many hours they are accumulating. It seems all the data is there. There just needs to be a way to compile and organize the data, setting up an alarm/reminder to go off when certain hour limits are reached. And then I put in there, the Hobo Nation needs to vote this up. And a lot of you guys have already voted. In fact, let's refresh this because I put this on the Hobo with Wood group. There's been 10 votes for it, and I don't even think I voted for it yet. Nope, I did. So there's 10 votes for it. So I'm going to put this link, copy, put this down here, paste. No, that's not what I wanted. Go away. I don't want that. Had that. That's not what I wanted. I did something silly. There we go. That, copy, paste, done. All right, so I put a link to that page in the comment field for you guys if you think that you would like to see this. And depending on what laser you use, the Rolly is extremely close to, even with their estimates, the estimated time is pretty close to being accurate. But as you're running a job, the progress bar on your laser controls, it's advancing as your job is getting near completion, and it updates. If it says 5 minutes and 5 minutes, and then it'll update to 3 minutes. So the estimated time is just that. It's an estimation, but it will update itself. And once it gets done, the computer knows, and the software knows how long it took to burn that job. So I'm thinking, okay, take that value and you save it in a CSV file format. Then what it also has to do is look and see, well, what device are you using? And it goes into a file that is labeled with that device. And I don't know how to set up the programming for this. I know how to write DOS Basic. So if I could do this with DOS Basic, with as advanced as all the programming is today, it shouldn't be terribly difficult to do. But the problem is not all the lasers, what was it they said is, I think like the CO2s and some of the galvos or whatever, the different controllers, they work differently and they don't have that time. But the diode lasers do have that value already. And so this would be something that would be marketed to diode users, and then they're like, well, a lot of people using this they might be using multiple lasers, but they also have multiple laptops and multiple people working, and they'll have 3 or 4 laptops, and they'll bring this laptop over and they'll do that job. And then they'll bring this laptop over and they'll do that from the same jobs from different laptops. So all of that wouldn't be compiled in the same place. So that wouldn't work for people who are using multiple computers to control multiple lasers. So it's not going to be an ideal situation, but I think the majority of people are like myself, where I use multiple computers to design with, but I only use one computer to control the lasers. I'll design on this computer and then send that file to myself to this laser, and I'll upload it and send it to this computer and send it to the laser. So one computer is controlling all the jobs going to the laser. And if you are using different laptops to design with and sending jobs to laser, but you wanted this kind of tool, well, then you just have to retrain yourself to just remember, oh yeah, okay, I can design all I want on these different laptops, but send it to this one and use this laser or this computer as the designated send job. Let's see here. Questions and comments. That's a good question. Let me grab this cherry. Maybe I misspoke. I may have misspoke, Dimitri, because here is the top piece of a piece of cherry out of a project pack, and it does say 10.4 square feet. So it's random. The boards will have random widths. But even on the ones that I've had some of the really thick boards in, and there's board feet, square feet, linear feet. So yeah, it's at least 10 square feet. Or they guarantee it to be 10 square feet. This was 10.4 square feet. And because of the various sizes, they use square feet to the best of my knowledge. We have been there often. Okay. So you're semi-local. You tell them, Rhonda, that place is a theme park for woodworkers. I thought I seen a skeeter. I did, and he's a big one. I would like to be able to increase the colors and make them darker when assembling multiple cut and grave layers with old eyes. It would sure help for that to be an option, at least for me. Increase the colors. As far as the tone of the colors or the number of layers, and I'm again, the brain's half engaged tonight. Yeah, Chris. Yeah, Chris says the CO2s, they already have a log usage built in there. So, and that's why CO2 users would not benefit from this. This is, an idea that's strictly for the diode user, which is what most hobbyist users are into. I think they have probably a bunch of, or they may have several, but the hobbyist laser owner is mostly the CO2, I think. not CO2, the diode. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, some of the layer colors are tough to see. But what I like, some of those very, very light colors. But what I use those for typically is when I was designing that inlay, I'll use those with a color that is extremely contrasting so that they do pop out and you see them. Otherwise, I don't use them. All right. Notes. All right. Autosave, suggested features, the compass inlay. All right. So we're 56 minutes in. We're right at an hour. Those, and did anybody have any questions, or has anybody tried the suggestions that I showed you in the video from this week? And you know what? I'm going to focus this because you can't see the detail with, there we go. I may have went too far. But there you can see the scan angle variation where it goes down the side of the tent. And then once it comes over to the front, the scan angle changes. And then you've got the LPI variation. So you get that line interval, and then that extremely dark burn for the entry to the tent, and then the variation for the shadow on the tarp and the ropes. Has anybody tried any of that yet? Now, I'm out of focus. Anybody tried that? Anybody have any questions? There we go. Yeah. And it's talking about the board foot is 12 by 12 by 1. So any combination of dimensions that equal to that is a board foot. And that's why I said there's board foot, linear foot, and square foot. And I think by doing it square foot, I don't think they are taking into consideration the thickness. I don't think. I think there's like, okay, it's 10 square feet. And then the thicknesses vary depending on what they have to make up the project pack. But regardless, for the price that it is, it's a deal. Francis engraved the tent. It looks great. And somebody got my camping. I'd rather be camping. I gave that away in the reunion, the anniversary stream. But for that file, originally it was just the camper. And one of you viewers, one of my, I'm pretty sure it's patron, they ask us, hey man, most of my friends, they go camping. They go tent camping. They don't have a camper or a caravan. So, and for you folks here in the States or who aren't aware, the ones across the pond, they call them caravans. They're going to take their caravan out this weekend. That's a camper. A caravan is a camper. But they don't have campers or caravans. They have tents. Can you make me a tent? And so I modified that tent and I added that to the file. So now when you get that file, I'd rather be camping, that file comes with a camper and the tent. And it took me 3 times of saving that file and sending that file out to everyone who had already purchased that file, because there are so many layers involved in trying to accomplish this, because each scan angle is a separate layer, the different power settings. So there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think there's at least 5 layers, cut layers to burn this image. And some of those layers that I used when setting that up were already used in the original I'd Rather Be Camping file. So in order to get them all separated and not have them overlapping, or as far as like, oh, I didn't want to have something in the tree line with a large line interval, and some of them did. So I had to go back and relayer those and it took me 3 times of figuring it out, saving it, and I actually had to go in and cut out the design to make sure that it was right. But once I made sure it was right, I sent it to everybody who had already purchased that file that didn't have the tint. So if you bought the tint or bought the file without the tint, now you have it with the tint. And that's what I do. If you buy a file from hobowithwood.com, if I improve it, modify it, and or add to it, I will, and I'm not 100% sure you should be able to save it as the same file name. And then if you have the rights to download that file, then you automatically get that new file. But it hadn't been working. And so what I've been doing is it's just as easy for me to look and say, there's the purchase history. There's 50 people that's bought that file. I save it under a new name and send that new file to all the people who have purchased in the past. So everybody gets the new one guaranteed. Sharon says she's working on it and adding flaps to the tent. Are you adding the door flaps? I thought about that and I changed my mind. I thought about that and I thought about, well, do I want to do them with as a triangular flap that's folded back or rolled up, and I even thought about it for a half a second about putting a pole down there so you can see a tent support inside the tent. But I said, no, 5 layers for that was enough. Chris says, I'm about 3 weeks behind in trying your files because I have to test my mods on them as well. Yeah. Chicago Bob should have 2 eyes looking out the opening. And Tom says he's going to post his in the Facebook group in a few minutes. Great. All right. To see what you do with the caravan, watch the yeah. If you guys haven't watched any of the Top Gear, I didn't care for the Top Gear they did here in the States. It didn't last very long. I do like the English version of Top Gear. I don't see a mosquito. Are you sure your glasses don't be clean? Yeah. Well, and it only comes by every couple of seconds, and and with the way this camera works, that mosquito could fly right by there, and you'd probably never see it because it'd be so out of focus and he's so fast. Ooh, now I like that. Valerie says putting Bigfoot in the background for the tents or for the camping. Yep. And if you bought that file right there, my national park sign, it's multiple layers. And one of the layers, I got Bigfoot in there. You got Bigfoot, deer, moose, bear, all kinds of options in there. But if you've got this file from me, you've already got a Bigfoot SVG. So it'd just be a matter of importing that file and bringing the Bigfoot over into your camping background. Yeah, Chris, did you do that? No, that was Russ. I haven't seen Russ in here tonight. I forget, was it this one but Russ did. He did. I'm pretty sure it was Russ. He did a UFO with a beaming up Bigfoot, which was really cool. All right. So we're a little over an hour in. Does anybody have? Did anybody have any questions about that, or were they lost? And something else that I thought was funny. This came via email instead of in a post. Uh, they said they really appreciated the fact that my videos would show how to do a complete project from start to end. And sometimes I'll show multiple ways to do the same thing. There's always fireworks, not a gunshot. It scared me for a minute because I thought it was a gunshot. Never can tell in my neighborhood. What was I talking about? That scared me. Oh, there's always more than one way to do things. And sometimes I will show multiple ways to accomplish the same goal in Lightburn. Sometimes I'll only show one way to do it, but that doesn't mean there's only that way. There's always more than one way. But my videos are what they are. They're as lengthy as they are is because it is an in-depth how to do this. And I'll teach you how to do it from start to finish yourself. You will not need to go by the file unless you're like, you know what? Now I see how much work goes into it, and it's well worth $7.99 or $8.99. I'm not going to spend all that time doing that. I can just pay that and go download it and modify it, and I'm ahead of the game. And they joked and said that some of the other channels, they're going to start calling them Cliff. And then it was ... as in Cliff Notes. Because they don't show you everything. They just show you enough. And you might figure it out. And it's mostly just kind of a tease. And then, oh yeah, now you can go buy this on my website. But I try to show you from start to finish how to create that step by step by step. You can do it yourself. Blame Chris, or Chris, LOL, blame Steve. I missed something. Oh, Jeff did it. Okay, Jeff did it. I did the Bigfoot UFO. Okay. Oh, that's right. That was in the crosshairs. Yeah, that was really cool. Guys, you know that this brain, it only fires on 6 out of the 8 cylinders. So there's no disrespect from any of that. If I ever miscall you by name or do anything. I just noticed you're using a plastic plate holder, not that's the easel, and that's because these were on sale at the Dollar Tree, and I think it was a pack of 5 of them for $1. They wasn't even in the $5 section, and I was like, you know what, and then when I bought those, I thought I was going to be doing events, and I said, you know what, those would be cool for transporting. They're going to be more durable and they'd hold up better and less fragile and just easier. But I do have a couple, and somebody contacted me wanting to do. Was that you, Burn Carve Print, about somebody's wanting me to help them set up some easels, and I just hadn't got around to it. Good tent video. Well done. Enjoyed it. Refreshing. 2 pound in a 2 pound. Refreshing 2 pounds in a 2 pound sock. You get your money's worth. It's all there. It's 5 pounds of crap in a 5 pound bag. Brad says you do a great job explaining, especially on node editing. Never saw any other go into that detail. I tell you, it took me a little while to get. Nodes used to really intimidate me, but the more you do them, the more it just becomes second nature. And if you can get comfortable with working with nodes, you can really start to manipulate your designs very precisely, without having to go into Boolean cuts and shapes and all that. Because you can accomplish the same thing with the cut tools and all that, but you got to have duplicate copies, because when you do the cut, that disappears, and now you got to do. But if you can just grab your nodes and just done. Thank you, Tom. I appreciate you immensely. I appreciate all of my patrons. In fact, banners, I've been having that like, subscribe, and share, and the subscriptions have started picking back up again now that I'm back into a little bit of a regular routine with the videos. If you are considering getting you a Rolly, there's a link across the bottom there that will let Leo know that I've helped you, encourage you to make that decision. And Leo gave me that Rolly to give away to Don, which I am extremely thankful for. And then he turned around and surprised me. And I told everybody I bought this. He gave me one, so I wasn't about to ask him, "Hey man, can I get an XW?" So I bought this. Well, he sent the confirmation to Don and gave Don his laser, and then for an anniversary gift, he turned around and gave me half off on this. So thank you, Leo. If I know Dimitri's here and has been here, but I don't know if Leo ever partakes in the corner watching what's going on. But he did, as an anniversary gift, he did give me half price on this one. So thank you for that. But if you're considering about or thinking about a Rolly, use that link there at the bottom right there, hobowithwood.com/Rolly. And that'll let Leo know that I helped influence that, and he can send me a little bit of a thank you. Won't change your pricing at all, but it just helps out a little bit. I enjoy the fact that you do your videos live and you don't edit out the mistakes when you post the repeat. Yeah, I ain't perfect. I am far from perfect. I make mistakes all the time. I showed you that, right? Anything go which one do you like better? The one that goes from right to left? No, stupid, it's left or right. I constantly screw up. Instead of portraying myself as and you can tell when they're edited, little fade in or fade outs, or you're talking and all of a sudden, well, that sign moved 6 inches, but it just moved. Well, that was an edit. I don't edit nothing out. You get all of the screw ups. Yes, Chris, nodes are addictive. They can be very much so. Demetrius, we'll be completing a print and cut on the MK2XW with the pass-through. Very good. Yeah, I did the video showing how to do those 4-foot porch signs with the print and cut and using the pass-through, and you can do those with the regular MK2. You don't need the XW for that. I really wanted this XW to do those panels that I showed you a second ago, where I'm gluing up and book matching my own panels and stuff like that. Those are going to be some really, really nice pieces to have. And even the folks that don't know what they're looking at, when they look at it, they go, "Oh man, that's nice." But they don't recognize the amount of work that it took to get that, sewn, all cut up, get it lined up, glued up, book matched, and then, planed and sanded and smooth, and then go back and then do the inlays and all. It's going to be a ton of work, and it's going to be beautiful when I'm finished. And it will look so nice that whenever I put a price that reflects the amount of work, it will look like it deserves it, because it's going to be a premium piece. A while back, you mentioned you created a shortcut key document. No, I didn't, but I'll share that with you. That's in the Lightburn folder there. I understood it to be a more comprehensive that. Yeah. Let me look for that. I'll grab it and share that link again. Bop, 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 bop. No, I got to go here first. There. Why do you keep going to the wrong screen, stupid? All right. Here and here. Uh, There was a printable. Is that it? Hotkeys. Yep, there it is. All right. Printable hotkey guide. Permanent link. No, I don't want to do that. I want to go here. No, come on. Right. No. All right. Copy. And oh, no. There it is. Copy. Copy. Thank you. And now paste. Paste. All right. Now enter. So that is in the links, or in the comments rather, and paste and open and switch. If you click on that link, it'll take you to this page in the online software. And this is a printable version. You can print it out, but it's got all of the shortcut keys, everything there listed. And you can print it out. But that link is in the comments. Crafting with Gene says, I'm waiting for the MK3. I want the larger area. Dimitri, yeah, you're still in here. The MK3, which is supposed to be out end of this year or first quarter of next year. The MK3, is the standard MK3 going to be just like the MK2, or is the MK3 just going to be this XW footprint size? Is the MK3 going to be the size of the XW? Brad's sucking up. And he says, I tell Leo everything. Just so you know, tomorrow is Jack's birthday. My size is Rolly. Well, there's some people that would argue that. There's some people that say it's questionable. Kent, thank you very much. I really appreciate you. I really do. Kevin, I like to do lives. I like the interaction. I like this. But something else that I like to do, and I was this close to doing it tonight, but we're coming up. We're right at an hour 20, about 10 minutes away from what my goal was. And I knew if I would have done what I'm getting ready to say, it would have went longer than 90 minutes. And I'm just not up to it, physically not up to it. I'm running on empty. That design that I did, switch. I did this from start to finish in about 20 minutes. And once I got it done, I've even began to get all my clamps here. Oh, what are you doing there? Get off there. And here, I even started cutting out some of the layers. Got to clean those up and sand them up. But I designed that in about 15, 20 minutes. And that turned out what I thought was pretty cool looking. And that ow, I just flexed my left foot. While I was in a rush to get ready to run out of the house, I kicked one of my boxes and I've broken at least 2 toes, maybe 3, but 2 of them are broke. So it's been a heck of a day. But I thought, you know what? This was really cool. It's going to be a cool piece when I get it done. And I put it together pretty quick. And I said that would be something that would be kind of neat to do, to where almost pulling a Bob Ross. Instead of watching the comments and interacting with the comments, just pulling up Lightburn, opening up a blank screen, and just start designing and see where it takes me and see what happens. What do we end up with? And do it in real time live. I said, yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Yes, Chris, mistakes are part of the learning process, and you tend to better remember what you learned. Especially if you do that same mistake 4 times and you've undone it 4 times. You didn't remember it the first 3, but you've kicked yourself so many times, you start to remember. What is the area of the MK2XW length and width in inches? If you would, you threw me on inches. 16 inches by 20. Oh my goodness. 16 by 24. And that was, and I think that was the goal, 16 by 24, because 16 by 24, you can equally cut up a 4x8 piece of material into 16 by 24 and have no waste. So that was kind of the reason for that size. TTD. The MK3 that's coming out is the next thing on the horizon, and they have not talked about a lot of stuff. Dimitri touched on it a little bit in the last live stream on the anniversary. If you didn't get to join in for the anniversary stream, go back and watch it. It was fun. It was fun to hang out. But Dimitri popped in, and he did share with us a few things that are going that is kind of known, but it's still kind of top secret. But he did share some information about some of the features, and that would be a good reason for you to go back and watch the replay of the live stream, and you can fast forward until it's no longer just me solo. Dimitri pops in on the screen with me, and that's whenever he pops in, that's when he starts talking about it. A Tuesday live sounds like a plan to me. Well, I've got right now I'm making this desktop a priority. I've about got that inlay design completed, and I'm going to do I'm actually, it's big enough piece that I'll take that desk outside on the front porch and carry the Comgrow Comgo Z1 out there and set up that on the desktop and record all of that step by step from engraving the pocket to doing the cutouts for the pieces and all that. And it'll probably be one of those montage videos. I won't bother being a talking head through the video. It'll be just check this out, and it'll be some jam you can listen to and watch the laser do its thing, and then the cutouts. And in fact, I'll probably use not probably. I'll use the Comgrow Comgo Z1 to do the pocket on the tabletop, but all the pieces I'll be doing with the Rolly. And infrared for late August and early September. For anybody wondering about the IR, if somebody asked about that, yep, Stacy asked about it. Maybe an IR as well. Yep. IR is in August or September. Okay. Yes. I was thrilled and tickled to have this thing show up just in the nick of time for the anniversary stream. That was perfect timing. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. We're at an hour 26. I as always, I do appreciate all of you, and I think the big takeaway here was that auto save feature. I've been asked about that on 2 or 3 different occasions, and I keep forgetting to bring it up in a video. And I said, you know what? And I can tell by my analytics that this many of you watch my videos start to finish, because my videos are forever and a day long, and the average watch time is maybe 10 minutes. So on a video that's an hour or an hour and 15, and it still only has an average watch time of 10 minutes, it's a little bit disheartening, but there are enough of you that are watching it and making the comments about, oh my God, I learned something new. I learned that's great. The thing about those videos is like, okay, well, I could care less about learning how to do a multi-angled tint. I don't care about a tint, but the techniques, learning how to do the different scan angles, the different lines per inch, and how to use the measuring tool to find the right angle, to put the right angle for your scan tool, so you can make even there's lots and lots of information about how-tos and the actual technique. In addition to the design, the design is might be completely irrelevant. But I appreciate everybody for hanging out tonight, coming in, and the autosave can be your best friend. I would get in the habit of naming your file before you even start doing the work. That way, and saving it where you want it to be. And that way, that autosave is going to put that autosave feature right where you expect it to be, and you don't have to go looking for it in your documents. Yep, Carl, I got this out whenever they started talking about my RC. I said, you know what? This will be a good time to grab Carl's hat. So I grabbed that. Yeah, I'm going to go. I'd like to think I'll be able to get up early tomorrow and cut the grass before it gets hot, but I think I'm going to be sleeping a long time in the morning. It's a long day today. So good night to each and every one of you. Thank everybody for your support. I got the banner down there for the Rolly, and one more banner just real quick. If you are not, and you really appreciate these, I would appreciate it if you consider going over to patreon.com/hobowithwood. becoming a regular supporter for the channel. It will help guarantee this channel continues to grow and prosper, and we can continue to learn together and have some fun together. Is Dimitri still here? Will the IR Laserhead be compatible with the MK2s? Dimitri. I think he answered that too in the live stream, Stacy, but I can't remember because my RAM is shot. For the MK2. Yeah. So yes. He is still here, and he did say yes. Yes, Chris. He did say yes. And Brad said, yep, 2 watt. Yes. Yep, 2 watt infrared MK2. All right, guys. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'm calling it. I'm ending it. And this is StreamYard is the software that I use to stream these live streams, and it's pretty cool. And I think even those other guys, Clack and Steve, I think they're going to experiment with this a little bit. But the one thing that is kind of funky about it is I can click the end stream, like right now. I'm going to click it, and then it takes forever for it to end the stream, and you never know how long it's going to take.